Well, hello everyone. Welcome to tonight's virtual facial. I'm Michelle Sullivan, independent consultant and district manager with Arbonne International. I appreciate you getting on the call tonight. Excited to see so many faces and such a great turnout. What we're going to do tonight is what I coined a virtual ultimate facial. And you know, what's great about this is, you know, we are expanding globally and technology is going to help us do that. So facials like this is one of the ways we get to share our Arbonne products and personal experiences that we've had as independent consultants with all of you. So again, thank you for taking the time out, and I hope you enjoy pampering yourself. I know it's hard for us moms to take time to do that. So, you know, a call like this is a great way to carve out a few minutes for ourselves. What we're going to be doing tonight is a 7-step facial that's been designed by a master esthetician, and it could cost over $150 in a salon. And we're going to experience not only our amazing skincare, but we're going to be talking about why it's different from everything else in the market. And, you know, you're going to see the glow that you get from your skin and talk about just, you know, how and why that happens. So I'm going to be going through each individual step and, you know, hopefully teaching you something about these amazing products. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, I live in Jupiter, Florida, and I'm a mom of 2 amazing children, 17 and 18, our son's almost 19. And I was introduced to products about 10 years ago. I had severe adult acne and really nothing worked. But I tried everything from the dermatologist to the department store, what I considered, you know, the high-end brands there, and nothing cleared up my adult acne. So, you know, it was the point where I was about to turn, you know, close to 40 years old. I was in my, you know, late 30s, and I thought, well, you know, maybe I'm not going to really get the clear skin I want, but I certainly want to do something about the lines that I'm starting to see. So I thought I used the best. I thought I, you know, knew everything that was out there. I had been a buyer for a major retailer, so really kind of on the cutting edge of what was going on in fashion and, you know, what was new and the latest and the greatest in the marketplace. So when the products were passed to me, I was kind of like, well, I never heard of them. So really, you know, in my mind, that equaled how great can they be? I hate to admit that, but, you know, I'm the kind of person that I always do what I say I'm going to do. So she passed me the gold bag of our products, and I tried them, and really, I was quite amazed. I mean, after just using them, you know, a couple of days, I noticed a difference in my skin immediately, the way my skin reacted. And, you know, my husband noticed that my skin looked different and commented on it, which I thought was outstanding, because I think most women can appreciate, you know, I'm sure you've come home from a new cut and color, and sometimes that doesn't get noticed. So for him to comment on my skin really said something to me. So when I was invited then to go to what we, you know, a business meeting to hear about it, I thought, okay, you know, I'm really curious about this company and why these products are so great and how come I've never heard of them. So I did, you know, look into the business at the time, but, you know, our life kind of took a little bit of an upheaval. We moved, I think 3 times after that, and, you know, the timing just wasn't right for me to kind of forge forward. But in the last year here in Florida, I've settled in. I've met some fantastic sidelines that have really, you know, taken me in, and I've stayed in touch with the group that from when I was originally exposed to the products, which was in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've kept in touch with everyone, and, you know, I've really seen the momentum of this company grow and take off and start to expand globally. And so I've decided that, you know, now is the right time for me to build a business. So for about the last year and a half, I've been in full momentum and building a really strong team and, I'm going to be launching a new business builder in Poland next month. So really exciting things happening. So that's what's brought me to Arbonne. And again, with the global expansion, I knew that being able to talk to people across the globe, technology was going to play a big part of that. And that's why I really took a look at, these Zoom calls and how can I utilize that in my business and reaching more people. So that's what brought me to the virtual facial. So what we're going to do tonight, just to kind of give you a quick agenda, is we're going to do the facial. We'll do the 7 steps together. I'll answer questions if you have any as we go along. And I'm also going to kind of tell you about some of my favorite things and some things that are brand new that even if you've tried Arbonne products before, we have a brand new, really super, super exciting product that I'll be sharing with you tonight. And at the end, we're going to talk about really, how you can get the best deals on these because, most of us are shoppers and we want to know, this all sounds great, but, what's in it for me? So we'll do that as well. You always want to get back to the person that invited you on the call. If you haven't already scheduled a time to talk with them either tonight after the call, in the next day or so, we have a really great special that is happening right now that we're going to talk about later that ends tomorrow. So what I typically do at this point in the virtual facial is I go around and I talk to everybody and just say, tell me about your skin. If you've used Arbonne products before, what's been your greatest improvement? If you've never tried the products before, what would you like to see different? We have a really great turnout tonight, which I'm super thankful for, but I think it's going to probably take too long for us to go around and talk to everybody and just in terms of, keeping us all on track and time. So, I know my coworker, Melanie Nelson, is on the line and I'm just curious. Melanie, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Tell us a little bit about, you haven't been using Arbonne products for very long. So if you don't mind just sharing with us really kind of what kind of turned your head and make you take notice of how they were different.
Sure. Well, first I would like to start by saying the smell is really great. I was only using Oil Valet and like Neutrogena toner. So when I tried the cleanser for the first time and I smelled it, I was like, whoa. And then when I used it, the way it made my skin feel, it felt very smooth, like velvet. So I noticed how it made me feel, how it smelled. And then when I used the toner, right away I could tell my pores were starting to minimize. So that was one of the things I was looking for, was pore minimization, and then the serum. Let's talk about the serum for just about 30 seconds. This is the best, to me, I think it's the best part of the whole steps because this is what gives you the glow. The glow that Michelle's talking about, it lightens your skin. You feel refreshed. You can tell the wrinkles are starting to be less deep, less visible.
Right.
So it's just, and I started using it in September. And since then, I've noticed that my skin is lighter, my pores have gone down, and I've seen some improvements in my lines. So it's been really great.
It's great. And do you mind sharing with them the first product you ever tried? I love
Sure. It's the mascara. It's called It's a Long Story. And Michelle was talking about mascara at work one day, and we were kind of making fun of that one brand where they put a bunch of fibers on your eyelashes. And I'm like, I don't want any of that. So she's like, well, how about a mascara that actually makes your lashes grow? I'm like, I'll try it. Sure. Why not? And I'm looking at her eyelashes and they're beautiful. So I'm like, well, I can have eyelashes like that. I'm definitely going to buy some of this. So I'm on my 3rd tube now. And again, my lashes are longer than they were. So I'm very happy with it.
I love it. Cause that was the first thing you tried and you're like, I want that mascara. So it all started with that little tube of mascara.
It did.
So that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Melanie. I appreciate you sharing that with us. So let's go ahead and get started. If I've sent you samples in the mail, you're going to start with the RE9 sample pack that looks like this. And if you flip it open, I love, they've numbered everything for us. So we're just going to take out the first tube, which is the smoothing facial cleanser. So just go ahead and start with that one. And I mean, obviously I'm typically at my sink. This is what the full-size bottle looks like. One thing I love about Arbonne's products is that they're so incredibly concentrated that it lasts a long time, but I always have to let people know you really want to use less of this than you might be used to. So that's something to keep in mind. So I just pump, just a really small dot. And I love how this will foam up so nicely because, when I first started looking for products that were, healthier and safer, because even, several years ago, I was starting to hear about toxins and products. And so, I remember one time I said, well, let me just go to the health food store and see what I can get. Well, nothing, I mean, some of it smelled pretty good, but nothing actually foamed up or took off my makeup the way this does. So while we're going through this, you'll just notice how creamy it is. It's gentle, but it's not going to strip your skin of essential oils and moisture. But it is effective enough to cut through your makeup and take that off, which is amazing. We do have a separate eye makeup remover. I mean, I'm not going to take my eye makeup off with this. But on a daily basis, if I don't have a lot of eye makeup on, it will actually even cut through my mascara. So as we take that off, the key ingredients in this are algae, which supports collagen, sea buckthorn oil, which is rich in antioxidant beta-carotene, vitamin C. And as we're doing this, just a couple facts that I think you'll find interesting. That, collagen and elastin slows down by the production slows down by 65% between the ages of 20 and 80. And that your skin's thickness also decreases 6% every 10 years. And it loses its ability to hold moisture over time, which makes it drier. And sun causes 90 to 95% of aging. And, I live in Florida, as I mentioned earlier, so that's something that was really important to me is being able to prevent those signs of aging. The good news is that RA9 addresses all the signs of aging, and it supports the way our body produces collagen and elastin. The 9 in RA9 stands for the 9 elements that support the anti-aging properties. And Arbonne was the first and only to combine all of the following ingredients, which is stabilized vitamin C, which of course is a much higher quality vitamin C, and it doesn't break down in the product as it's packaged. L-hibin, which is a purified natural protein complex. Vitaspheres, which is a technology that delivers the antioxidants to a cellular level. Peptides, algae, biohydria complex, copper, alpha-beta hydroxy acids, and alpha-lipoic acid. I mean, I know I've seen product lines where, they're touting copper, which helps with skin's firmness, which is exciting, but that's only one of our 9 elements. So now that we have that off, we're going to exfoliate 2 different ways tonight. The first one is the FC5 Exfoliating New Cell Scrub. If I've sent you samples in the mail, it's going to come in a little jar like this. And if you are following along as a consultant, obviously it's going to be this. This is the full size. This FC5 line I love. It's great for, I know a lot of my younger customers purchase this line. And the FC5 stands for Fresh Cell 5. And that means that it has fresh ingredients in it, which is strawberry, kiwi, carrot, mango, and pumpkin. And we're going to exfoliate our skin because not exfoliating our skin is what makes it dull and lifeless. And this is a scrub that I use several times a week. It's safe enough to use on a daily basis, but most people will do this type of scrub about twice a week. And what I do is as I'm putting it on, I'll add just a little bit of water to kind of, get it to go a little bit further, spread it out. And you can feel the jojoba beads in this as I put it on, which jojoba beads are natural and they break down in our environment. Unlike if you're, addicted to the news feeds that you see on Facebook, you've probably read about the plastics that are contained in the inexpensive facial scrubs. And what's happening with the plastic scrubs is that they're not breaking down in the environment. So they're ending up in our rivers and in fish. And so thankfully, the lawmakers are moving to make that illegal, so that we're not ruining the environment with our beauty products. But as I put this one in, I just, kind of smooth it all over, let it do its work. And I let this dry so that the clay will help draw out the impurities. And I do the scrubbing after. So we're going to let this sit on our skin for about 5 minutes. And as I do that, I'm just going to share a little bit more with you. But one thing I want to mention too on this one, I like to do this at night. Both of these facial treatments, because they will make your skin red. And I don't want you to be alarmed. It's not burning your skin. What it's doing, it's bringing the blood to the surface, and that's going to promote the oxygen circulation. But it's not going to burn you. It'll go away in about 20 minutes. So we're going to leave this on for about 5 minutes. While this is doing its magic, I'll share just a little bit with you about Arbonne as a brand. We are a highly regarded premium brand with a Swiss heritage. Our founder, Peter Moore, saw that products in the United States were not botanically based. So he set out to create a pure, safe, and beneficial line. Our products are, Arbonne is, about a 36-year-old company. So we have had that as our mission statement for a really long time. It's becoming trendy, popular now, but that's been our mission since day one. We have a cutting-edge scientific advisory board and product development team, and they continually improve and evaluate our ingredient policy, crafting products that integrate botanical ingredients with the principles of green chemistry. And our collection includes over 250 personal care products. We have something for everyone. Baby line, anti-aging for men and women, cosmetics, spa line, sun care, and nutrition. So at Arbonne, it's not just about the amazing ingredients that we've taken the time to research and develop and put in our products, but it's also what's not in them, which I have to tell you, when I first started using the products, it was all about the results for me. I was blown away by what the products did for me. And that was the number one most important thing. As I mentioned earlier, I had adult acne. So for me to have an anti-aging skincare line clear up my adult acne was just, really unexpected for me, as well as get rid of the, crow's feet that I saw starting. So all of these things I'm going to share with you as far as what's not in them, and them not having the toxic ingredients. I didn't go out on a quest to find non-toxic products. I would love to tell you that I did, but quite honestly, I wasn't aware enough to do that. So all these things I've learned have been a bonus for me. But again, it all started with the products being highly effective. So, the products, everything that we use, they are, free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, phthalates, parabens. I mean, these are all buzzwords that I know you're hearing about. And initially, when I started researching this, I thought, well, that's great that they're not there, but why is this important? And I came across a really great article. I'll be happy to share it with anybody who wants to read the full article. Dr. Samuel Epstein, he was the former head of the Cancer Prevention Coalition, said that it's more dangerous to put a product on your skin than it is to eat it. that's because your body can detoxify, but our skin cannot. Our liver filters out what we ingest, but 65% of the ingredients that we put on our skin can be in our bloodstream and major organs within a minute. So that comes from the article beatcancer.org 2015. Again, I'm happy to send that out to you. But, you know, again, there was a recent article recently that, you know, they're going to be banning some of the ingredients that are in the hand sanitizers. So they're starting to take a look at that. So I think that we're going to start to see more regulations around personal care products. And I have some more, you know, things to say about that. But, you know, we're just not there yet. But one thing I wanted to mention too is, you know, in terms of skincare, our skincare is gluten-free as well. So I've had people mention, oh, well, I found Arbonne because I've got celiac disease and I was looking for skincare that didn't have any gluten in it and came across Arbonne. So, you know, all of our essentials line, which is our nutrition, shakes, energy drinks, they are not only gluten, dairy, and soy free, but they have no cholesterol, artificial flavors and colors, or trans fats. So if you think of someone in your life, you know, as you're having this amazing facial that is vegan or gluten-free, you know, be sure to mention Arbonne to them and send them to the person that invited you on this call. Let's go ahead, that's about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and start to take this mask off. And when I do this, I'll either use my fingers at the sink or a washcloth, and then I'll do circular motions as far as the, you know, kind of getting that scrubbing going and helping breaking down the dead skin cells. The other thing I wanted to mention, which I mentioned earlier about what's not in Arbonne's products, is Arbonne has been cruelty-free and vegan from the beginning. We've never tested on animals, and we don't use animal byproducts. We also don't use petroleum byproducts. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, are really concerned about, you know, their products being cruelty-free, as they should be. I mean, that's a cruel and unusual way to test products. Never mind the fact that our skin and our products should be tested on human beings, because that's where they're going to end up. But unfortunately, that's a more expensive process, and that's why companies will resort to animal testing. So, you know, when you flip over Arbonne's product and you see the vegan certification and all the different cruelty-free, you know, awards that we've gotten, we've been that way from the beginning, not just because it's, you know, what's happening right now. And as companies, you know, get on board with that, I applaud them. I think the more awareness around this is really important. But there's something, if you want to Google, it's called rendering plant. And that's kind of the next step, besides just being, you know, a cruel practice. You know, what happens at a rendering plant? We're a recycle nation. We recycle the byproducts of our meatpacking industry, roadkill, euthanized animals, things like that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If you want to research more on that topic, again, just Google a rendering plant and you'll learn about that and how that ends up in the beauty care industry. Pretty shocking, I must say. But you know, that it brings us also back to the petroleum issue. Now, mineral oil, because of the sound of the term, some people think that, oh, mineral, it sounds healthy, but it's not. It's cheaper for companies to refine mineral petroleum down to a cosmetic grade and sell it as an inexpensive filler than it is to dispose of it as a toxic waste. So refining it doesn't change the size of the molecule, which is very large, and that's what makes products with mineral oil in it occlusive, which basically means your body can't breathe. It can't detoxify when you put mineral oil on it. I know Runner's Magazine will say, don't put sunscreen on with mineral oil on it because their body can't regulate their temperature. They can't release the toxins and sweat properly. So you can all feel that when you've put lotions on that have mineral oil in it, and how that feels like saran wrap on you. So we've never used that as well. You know, and Arbonne is one of the few companies that approaches beauty from the inside out. I mentioned earlier our 30-day nutrition plan. And what that does is it gives the body time off from toxins that we encounter every day in our environment and our diet. And we also, during those 30 days, we increase our nutritional intake. So it's a way to reset our systems. We cut out foods that cause inflammation. And also, you know, a lot of times cause a lot of the skin issues that we see. A lot of times kids that have acne, it's either, you know, a dairy or a wheat allergy, and only doing a pause from all of these types of foods is going to identify that. So we kind of, you know, we take the time to, again, take a pause from those products that cause inflammation, and we find out where our food sensitivities are. So our 30-day plan does that for you, but it's not fasting. It's not drinking, you know, waking up and drinking a crazy cayenne pepper and vinegar solution. Instead, we have products like Digestion Plus, which is a probiotic and digestive enzyme, and it's great for adult acne. I use this product every day. It's the first thing in the morning that I have on an empty stomach, and it's made a really big difference in keeping my skin clear, because I would always get a breakout during my monthly cycle, but now that I've incorporated that into my diet, I don't even get that. We host Zoom calls too on the Arbonne 30-day nutrition plan, so if that's something that you're interested in, again, get back to the person who invited you and we can let you know when we're going to have one of those events. So let's move to the cellular renewal mask. If I've sent you samples, it's going to look like this little tube right here, and it came separate from that strip sample. So it says RE9 Advanced Cellular Renewal Mask. This is what the full product looks like. It comes in a gold jar. And before you put this mask on, as you take some out, I want you to just scoop some out and put it on the back of your hand and smell it. I love the way this mask smells. Can anybody tell me what the main, what we call our secret ingredient is in this one? Anyone want to unmute yourself and take a guess? Melanie, I know you know what this is. What's our secret ingredient, Melanie?
Pineapple.
Pineapple, yes. Oh my gosh. I love this. So we're going to put this on kind of a thick coat. I just kind of spread it evenly. This one, again, you can use about, you know, what I do is I alternate my masks. I do this one about once a week, and it says about 5 minutes. Quite honestly, I have what I consider, you know, a little bit thicker Italian, a little bit darker pigmented skin, and so I'm a little bit rougher with it. I leave it on longer, you know, sometimes about 20 minutes, and it will make my skin red. If I notice that I've gone a few weeks and I haven't done this mask, it'll make my skin really red. So the more your skin gets red, the more you actually need this one. The interesting thing about pineapple is that, has anyone heard the fact that pineapple pickers do not have fingerprints? You've heard that, Diana? Yeah, so the reason they don't have fingerprint is because of the fruit acid. It wears off their fingerprints. So I thought to myself, well, that's pretty logical. If it could get rid of their fingerprints, it can surely get rid of my fine lines. So that's what this does for you. So this enzyme exfoliator is similar to a chemical peel that you would get at a doctor's office, but it's more gentle. You know, I know friends that have gone to doctor's office and they've had treatments and they say, oh, I can't leave the house for the weekend because my face falls off. So this is not going to happen to you. My mother has blonde hair and green eyes, and she fell asleep with this mask on one night, and she woke up the next day in a panic thinking she would have burned her face off, but she didn't. Her face looked like she had been out in the sun. It was a little bit red, but that lasted, you know, 24 hours. So I just love that you're going to get the same effect that you would with, you know, an enzyme mask, but it's so much more mild than that. And as I said, the redness goes away in about 20 minutes. So the first mask we did is like getting microdermabrasion, and this mask is like doing an enzyme peel. So that's what how I equate the two and how they're different. The pineapple and papaya enzymes, they work on the epidermis level of your skin, and they visibly improve the skin tone and texture, and they minimize the appearance of pores. What the enzyme mask does that's different from the physical exfoliator is, you're actually kind of doing the scrubbing action when you do the FC5 mask. With this one, it's the chemical that breaks up the bonds between the dead skin cells and sloughs them off. So that's how I think of them, and that's why I alternate between the two. And tonight we're using our #1 selling anti-aging skincare line. The RE9 is really, is what really put Arbonne on the map. But as I said, we have the FC5 line for younger skin. We have the Calm line for people that are, so sensitive. A lot of times, in my opinion, people that categorize themselves as being, super sensitive, it's more about that they've been using products that might have, artificial fragrances and things like that that have irritated them. But I do start them off with our Calm line. It has no fragrances, no colors or anything, and it's a wonderful transition line for people. And it's great for men that, they don't want any sort of fragrance at all. And so, and we do have the men's anti-aging skincare line as well. But I know what it's done for my skin and how it's changed my skin. But, one of the sidelines here in Florida, area manager Valerie Marion had the opportunity to ask Peter Matravers, our VP of product development, about RE9 specifically. And he said to her, and I have this quote from him, that RE9 stands for rebuild, repair, and rejuvenate. And that they've developed the vitamin and plant acid therapies what they do is command the skin to behave the way it did when you were younger and help restore the cell memory as we age. RE9 competes with the products that are sold at a medical level, but our advanced delivery system stimulates the cells, and this is super important, only to the degree needed by each cell so that the cells don't become overstimulated. Formulas that rely on strong chemical ingredients can't differentiate between healthy and sluggish cells and stimulate all cells equally. Healthy cells that are overstimulated can burn out and accelerate aging. That's why you'll be instructed to take a break from the products marketed at the medical level. And I've heard that. I've had friends that, have used things from the dermatologist and they have to go on and off them. And that's because their skin will burn out. During clinical studies, RE9 significantly outperformed competitive products, and it's #1 in addressing most common concerns. The bonus is that you can use RE9 long-term and continue to get great results. As I said, I've been using this skincare for 10 years now, and I've never taken a break from it or never have felt that I needed to, nor have I ever felt like, oh, it's not quite doing what it used to. I know some people feel like, I need to switch my shampoos, this or that, to make it. No, not with my skincare. It always, continues to give the great results. And sometimes people will say to me, I only use what my dermatologist recommends. And I let them know that we have professors of dermatology on our scientific advisory board. So, that's not something all companies can say. And, one thing I didn't realize too is that there's different levels of skincare. There's obviously economy, what you're going to get at your drugstore brands, premium quality, which is department store and French formulated, but then there's a level called ultra premium, and that's Swiss formulated. So I like to tell people that we are La Prairie quality at Clinique's prices, but with no animal byproducts. And we also have a 45-day money-back guarantee, which is amazing. You can use the products and really sit with it, make sure it's right for you. And if for any reason you're not happy with it, exchange it, get your money back, whatever works for you. And one thing I wanted to mention too is that the Arbonne products are formulated to European Union standards. So I don't know if you know this, but in the European Union, they've banned over 1,400 ingredients and said that they're not safe for personal care products. And the US has banned roughly 11. I think I mentioned recently they did something with the hand sanitizer ingredient. So, you know, that's great that we looked at the hand sanitizer ingredient, but I think when you look at how many the European Union has already banned, we have a long way to go. The other thing I want to mention real quick before we take this mask off is the next step for me, if I was getting ready for bed, would be the Genius Nightly Resurfacing Pads. They come in a jar like this, and when you get them, they have a green bottle, which is safe from it. Whenever you see a bottle that's either green or amber, it's because the light won't break down the active ingredients. So we get what's called a fresh pour bottle with that, so that when we open that and pour it on, we are activating the ingredients. And they come with little pads, and you would be wiping them over our face, because what we're doing tonight, and we've, you know, as I said, this facial regimen has been developed by a master esthetician, and she just said that, you know, what we're doing works on the different levels of the skin, and, you know, this would be kind of product overload, so we're not going to actually do this step tonight, but it's really, really an amazing product. So I want to make sure that I mention it to you, that, you know, these Intelligence Genius pads were the first botanical retinoid on the market. We like to call them the magic eraser, and that's because these pads will ramp up your skincare regime by helping with fine lines, brown spots, skin texture, and really reducing your pore size. They can be used at night after your face wash, and they can be incorporated into any Arbonne skincare regime, and they'll enhance the benefits of that line that you're using. So in just 2 weeks, 100% of study participants who used the Genius showed improvement in the appearance of skin moisture, firmness, and elasticity. So think of it like Retin-A without the harsh side effects. Genius pads have also performed really well on acne. So if you know someone with acne, you might want to suggest the Genius pads for them. And also what we've heard too a lot from doing our 30-day cleanse is that, you know, dairy is a big trigger for acne. So keep that in mind too. So let's go ahead and take this one off. And while we do that, I'm going to introduce the Genius Ultra. So maybe you've heard about this amazing skincare device. Maybe it's going to be the first time I'm telling you about it, but this is really a game changer. And I'm going to try and share my screen in a minute and show you some before and afters. But this is an at-home ultrasound device that was developed by Dr. Robert Grove. He's got a PhD in laser applications from MIT, and he designed it along with our master formulator, Peter Matravers. And it's got well-established safety and track record, and you will get the most out of the key ingredients in our products with the patent-pending 3 heat settings. It emits 300,000 waves per second, and you use it for a minute in each area. And Arbonne also has a patent pending on the teardrop shape, which I'll pull out in a minute and show you. You know, before the Genius Ultra was introduced, I had been actually talking to the master esthetician who developed this Ultimate Facial, and just telling her some skin concerns that I had. And she said, you know what, you really need to go get a ultrasound facial. And I think she probably knew, being an ENVP, which is the top level with Arbonne, she probably knew about the Genius Ultra but couldn't tell me about it yet. So I went and had that facial, and you know, the machine that they had at the doctor's office was huge, clunky machine, and the head was like round and really large, and it was it didn't glide over the skin and get in, you know, around the nose and the small areas the way ours does. So the fact that our tip teardrop shape and the heat setting is patent pending is really important. And there's different devices out on the market, and a lot of them are what they call ultrasonic, which is not ultrasound. Ultrasonic is just like high vibration, and ultrasound is exactly what you know it to be when if you've ever had a child, or you've heard about the ultrasound or accompanying someone to the doctor. That's the technology we're talking here, which is super, super cutting edge. So this is what it comes with, a little carrying case if you don't already own this device, and we have a special on it that ends tomorrow. You get that case with the set. But this is what it looks like, and you can see the teardrop shape. When I turn it on, you can see, let me see if I can get that light. You can see the different heat settings. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I use 2 as the minimum and 3. And what this does is it helps, it's almost like, I love the way, again, my same sideline friend Valerie Marion said, she goes, think of this as your new finger. So it's a way to apply the products and get them to be the most effective as possible. So for example, if you were to look at your skin under a microscope, you'd see the natural ridges of your skin. Obviously our fingers, because we're not pineapple pickers, has those too. So when you put your serum on or your lotion on, you're only getting that so far into your skin. When you use the serum or the firming eye cream along with the Genius Ultra, it gets the product down to the layers of your skin so that they can work more effectively. And so then we're really seeing pretty amazing results with this machine. And the way I do this is I will put just a little bit of the serum, a dot, and I'll put, like right here on my forehead. For my forehead, I like to do the number 3, the warmest heat setting, and I'll just do small circular motions. And, this is an area as in, let's see, I don't know how many months, but approximately 6 months, I'll be 50. So I'm concentrating on the forehead and around my eyes. And I've been starting to use it also on my neck. But it feels amazing. It's so relaxing. So what I'll do at night is, while I'm kind of catching up on maybe some emails before bed or watching my favorite show, which I probably only watch TV once a week. But, when I'm doing something that's my wind down time, that's when I'll do this as well. So I don't, stand at the kitchen or the bathroom sink for 5 minutes and do this separately. What I love is that it pauses for me halfway through, and then that lets me know that that's the 30-second mark, and then I'm done. So that's me treating, these lines here, and then I'll go through and I'll do what we call the 11s right here. And so the before and afters, if you haven't seen any of them, are pretty amazing. I'm going to show you some of them right now. Melanie, if it's okay with you, I've got this one pulled up right now, and that is, sure. Yeah, Melanie was kind enough to share this with me, and so when she texted me this picture, can everybody see that okay? When she texted that to me, I said, oh, did you get that off the internet? That's pretty unbelievable. She goes, no, that's me. So what I love about this is, whenever you see before and afters, everybody has that dose of skepticism, and they say, oh, well, they probably photoshopped it, or that's not the same person, or all these things. But you know what? Melanie's right here on the call right now, so if you want to ask her. And in full disclosure, I did ask her specifically what she did, and she shared with me that she did a minute, and she just kind of did the four sections. So a minute here, a minute here, a minute here, a minute here. And that was morning and night.
Wait, we have to do the hospital.
So That's pretty unbelievable. So if that's what it can do, I've got a ton more. If anybody wants to see, you know, people's before and after of their crow's feet or neck or décolleté. You know, what I really love about the Genius Ultra is that I'm the kind of person that I want to do everything I can that's non-invasive. Kind of a wimp, so I'm not a real big fan of the thought of going under the knife. And, you know, quite honestly, some of the results we see, you know, I live, again, here in Florida, we see Palm Beach, we see a lot of surprised faces, a lot. And I don't want to grow old in an unnatural way. I want to grow old as gracefully as possible. So if there's something that I can do that's going to give me an advantage and, you know, help me keep my youthful skin and just, again, doing it in a non-invasive way, I'm all about it. So that's really amazing. And again, you know, we have a really great special. What I love about this is it comes with products. You need a carrier, you know, with it, so you don't just use it on dry skin. So you're going to be using it with the serum on the forehead. We have an amazing firming eye cream, and these two on a day-to-day basis will come with these two products. But the special that we have right now is we have this unbelievable nourishing facial oil, and I say that because I have normal to oily skin. So I know I have a lot of family that lives in Colorado. They love this. Their skin drinks it up, but their skin is drier. So I thought, you know, how's this going to work for me? Well, again, being, you know, Italian, and I thought, is this going to be too heavy for me? It's not. It's super lightweight. This nourishing oil comes with the Genius Ultra in a special right now as an additional bonus through tomorrow, the 16th. As well as this cute little carry case. So I love that, that we, you know, have these products to use with it, and we're going to get those results, whether it's the firming eye cream or the serum. And just, you know, as we kind of, you know, look at Arbonne, just again, what I mentioned to you in the beginning was, you know, why did I decide to jump on to Arbonne right now as a business? And I found that expanding globally was really the ticket for me, because to me, that's when a company like Arbonne is really hitting its stride. It's that sweet spot in business. As I mentioned to you earlier, being a buyer, you know, I bought for a major retailer of a brand that you've heard of that was a global business. And so we were constantly looking at our numbers and saying, you know, how are we doing, you know, same store sales versus our new stores that we've opened up around the world. And so, you know, you're always going to get an increase with the new stores that you pick up globally, but how are you doing, you know, with your existing markets? And when someone shared with me that Arbonne was in double-digit growth in our existing markets, which is in the United States, and then also in the new countries that we've gone into, it kind of just, I guess, was a reality check for me of, you know, Arbonne's hitting its stride again. They're in that sweet spot. So, you know, I have kids they're going to be both leaving the nest soon. I have one in college and the other one leaving next year. So I thought, you know what, this is something that's really going to kind of carry me off. So through those times that I have something that I don't become an empty nester, and, you know, I have something to keep on my plate. And so that's really exciting for me, because then I'll be able to travel and support my teams around the world. So, so let's finish up with the toner, which is, again, you know, this is one of my favorite steps. This is I call it my morning and night aromatherapy. Before Arbonne, I skipped the toner because I was convinced that it was the step that the saleswoman was trying to sell me to just get me to buy one more thing. And I didn't really know what it did. I didn't know why I was using it. I didn't see a difference. But when I tried our toner, I love the way it smelled. and I just do, I spritz it directly on. You can put it on a cotton pad and swipe if you want, whatever you prefer, but I love the way it feels, so I spray it directly on my skin. And really what the toner does, what someone explained to me, is it brings your skin to the correct pH level immediately. So if you were to just wash your face, your skin sits at, between 5.5 and 6.5. It would take your skin 2 hours to normalize and get back to that level without a toner. So the toner brings it to that immediately. And then, what that does is it prepares your skin for the next step, which is the serum. And so what I love is, serum, its function really is to help with cell turnover. I mentioned, as your skin ages, our cell turnover rate kind of slows down. So this toner is one of the things that really helps your skin have that glow. And when I do it right after my toner, the serum really glides all over, which I love. I'm going to go through, I know we talked about, you can use the firming eye cream with the Genius Ultra. So typically what I do is I do the firming eye cream at night with my Genius Ultra, and then in the morning I do the RE9 corrective eye cream. And I love this because I love the consistency of it. It's a little bit thicker than some eye creams. I use just that tiny bit and I share it, and just kind of pat it around the orbital bone and even up here. It's good to use your ring finger because you have less muscles in your ring finger, but patting it is good too. And the skin around your eye has very few oil glands and it needs a different moisturizer. I know some people are used to just using their night cream all over, but your skin, again, around your eye is very different and has different needs. Our eye cream reduces puffiness and diminishes the look of dark circles. And then we recommend, starting to use an eye cream in your 20s. I started when I was like 15 because my mother used to go to a hair salon. The woman who owned it was German and she had, very high-end products, and, oh no, darling, you need an eye cream, so I did. So I've been using one for a long time. And then we're going to do the night repair cream. If you're using the little strip sample, it's toward the end. It has a little moon on it. And what I love about our night cream is that, most night creams are really heavy and greasy. And as I mentioned, with my skin type, I couldn't use most of them. So this was really the first night cream I've ever been able to use that didn't break my skin out. So I love the way it feels. And it feels really rich and creamy, but yet it soaks into your skin right away. And it has peptides, which promotes collagen production. So it's a great way for us to end our facial tonight because you're going to be prepped and ready for bed. And I'm excited for you to wake up tomorrow and see how your skin feels if this is the first time you're trying the RE9. And so, one of the things too, some people will say, oh, well, I don't wash my face at night, or, I'm too tired, this and that. And one of the things that I always recommend to people is, wash your face earlier in the evening. Maybe even do it before you start, cooking dinner. Because, when you don't wash your face, you're actually aging your skin. And so when you sleep, your pores open up. And if you are not, cleaning your face, then the toxins and just the dirt from the day is getting down deep in there, which obviously you don't want. But being able to, put a skincare line like Arbonne on at night and having those peptides, again, when you're sleeping, that's when your body repairs itself, including your skin. So I have a question on the screen here, and someone asked if Melanie used the firming body cream on her stomach. And Melanie, if I remember correctly, you used just the serum that came with it, correct?
Yes, just the serum. Just the facial serum.
Yeah, so just the facial serum on her stomach, because that was, you know, when she first became a consultant, she bought the Genius, the Genius Ultra machine and the RE9 set. So that's all she had. She didn't have any of the, you know, firming body cream, or I've recently, you know, gotten the age-defying neck cream so that I can target the neck and décolleté. But yeah, I mean, just using the Genius Ultra with the serum is going to give you great results. So one thing that I like to just let people know is really, you know, you may love everything you've tried. I want to just share with you, you know, the different ways that you can become an Arbonne customer. You can become a client, which is all you have to do is log on with an email and shop whatever, you know, suits you, and buy whatever you want whenever you want from your laptop. And you can, you know, have the great support from the consultant who shared the products with you, which I love. Most people, though, you know, they want a discount, and of course we're going to, you know, reward you for doing that. So if you get a preferred client account, it costs $20 for an entire year to get 20% off. And we have specials that range up to 40% off sets, which are amazing. And you can also get up to $50 for your first qualifying order. I think even a few of the things they've selected are over a little bit over $50. There's ways to get free shipping. So there's all kinds of, you know, specials and ways that we treat you for becoming a preferred client. That's the way most of my customers shop. And then you can also become a consultant, so you can join and get between 35 and 80% off. It's $79 to join, and you get a free product up to $100. And you can earn money while you're turning an expense into an income, and work toward earning a free white Mercedes. There's incentive trips, travel, things like that as well. If you're undecided and you're not sure, a great way for people that are kind of trying to figure things out is to become a host. And you can invite a few friends to do a virtual facial. I've got my sister-in-law is doing one of these for me in New Jersey. And as the host, you can earn free product as well as a deep discount. And, you know, so that's a great way to try it out, because then you can really sample a lot of the products that way, but also, you know, support the person that introduced you to Arbonne. So, you know, at this time, we're just wrapping up. We're right at the hour mark here. Does anybody want to type in a message or unmute themselves and ask anything? I know, Melanie, it's bedtime for you. Sweet Molly. Oh.
Michelle, you did a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diana. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, I'm up here in PA.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, but originally from Maryland, so I am a consultant, but
wonderful.
I used the products for 10 years, and I've only been a consultant for 4, so I'm as well a district manager. So it is, you know, the products work for everybody that's on here that is waving. It does work. And a preferred client, you know, 20% off of everything you order, you know, after you join, you know, it's a great deal. So you did a wonderful job, Michelle.
Oh, thank you,
Melanie used the firming cream. That's going to get all that good.
Yes. I know. I've got a spot on my
I love these products.
I need that firming body cream for that. I have it.
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
I'm telling you, you know, I was like, dang, I thought the firming cream was working. You know what I'm going to be doing before bed, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I love it. That's a great before and after. So someone asked me if Melanie was willing to share it on the Facebook page, and I know she's told me yes before. So unless I hear otherwise, I see yes. I'll go ahead and post that picture for you guys.
That's great. That's great. All right. I might have to share that if I see it.
No
Definitely. There you go. So,
Awesome.
well, someone just mentioned Peggy, thank you. She has never used FC5 and then the mask, and, you know, said her skin feels great. So thank you, Peggy, for sharing that. I know, I thought it was such a great idea. And, you know, what I loved was hearing that, you know, using these masks and then following with the Genius Ultra is really great. Because think about it, you've got that, you know, that fresh skin, and you're not even the Genius Ultra doesn't have to fight through the layers of dead skin cells. So, you know, right after doing a mask is a really great time to use your Genius Ultra. Okay, so I have Melanie is also sharing with Melanie that if you share your before and after with the Genius template and put it on Twitter, there's a chance to win a $100 free product. So.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, great idea. All right. Well, listen, I wanted to thank everybody so much. Again, I did record this, so I will put this out either through Vimeo or YouTube. I'm not sure which one, but I'll get that out to everybody in the next few days. I appreciate everybody joining and participating, and thank you so much, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, guys. How'd you like it, Laura? How's it feel? Wait, it doesn't say you're muted, but I can't hear you. Yeah. You know what? Just call me. You can call me. I'm up. Okay. All right. Good night.